So good morning students. In today's class we are going to learn what is the FFT algorithm and what is the need for it. Okay. So as we have discussed in the last videos, we know that FFT algorithms find to be more easy and implementation is also very simple, and as the length of DFT increases, the time computation reduces here if I am going with FFT algorithm, and also the storage is very less, which is 2n for FFT algorithm, which is also very small. And this FFT algorithm can be used to calculate DFT as well as IDFT in a very efficient manner. And real-time implementation of DFT is possible only because of this FFT algorithms. So these are the various advantages why we are going for the FFT algorithm. And as I told, why FFT is, the direct computation of DFT involves more number of calculations, such as the number of complex multiplications is n square and number of complex additions is n square minus n. And whereas the FFT, it requires only less number of computations, which is for the complex multiplication it is n by 2 log n, and complex addition it is n log n base n. And also if you observe the algorithm, it is seem to be recursive and it requires very less memory space for calculations. And if you want to calculate the speed improvement factor, you can compare with that of the direct computation, you can calculate. And the speed improvement factor for complex multiplication is taken as, for the direct computation we saw it as n square, so it is n square divided by n by 2 log n base 2. Okay, this is about the speed improvement factor for complex multiplication. Similarly, for the complex addition, you have to take it like n square divided by n log n. So these are the formulas you will be using it while solving the problems. And what is in-place computation? So this is a important concept in FFT algorithm, and it is having the advantage such as, because of this in-place computation only, the memory space is reduced. So let us see what is this in-place computation. So if you observe the FFT algorithm, it will be performed in different stages, and each stage it involves n by 2 butterflies, and these butterflies it is going to operate on pair of complex numbers, and it will produce another set of complex numbers. And what is happening here is, once the output pair is generated, we will not be using the input pair anymore. Hence, this output pair can be stored in the same location where the input pair was kept. So this avoids the use of more storages. So hence this is called as in-place computation. That is, in the same place wherever the input is stored, will be replacing with the output values. Why? Because the input values we are not going to use further. So it is called in-place computation in DSP literature. And the main advantage of this in-place computation is nothing but it reduces the memory requirement. Okay. And you should be aware of this butterfly computation. So each FFT algorithm will have this butterfly structure where the input is A and B, and the output is taken as capital A and B. And this butterfly structure, basically the output takes the form A plus B into Wn power of R, and the other output will be A minus B Wn power of R. So this is the basic butterfly computation of your FFT algorithm. And in generally, the number of butterflies in each stage, it is calculated as n by 2, and how many number of stages you will have for each algorithm is, it depends upon the value of capital N, and the formula given is log n base 2. And how many total butterflies will be there is, it is nothing but the number of butterflies multiplied by the stage. So it is n by 2 into log n base 2. And even the percentage calculation also you can do it using the formula. For multiplication it is n by 2 log n, and for the addition it is n minus n divided by n log n base 2. So let us keep an eye on how many registers needed in order to compute FFT algorithm. So the number of registers required to perform real part is capital N, and to perform imaginary part is capital N. and to perform Tidal factor it is capital N, and what are the total number of real registers we are going to use is 3n, and the number of complex registers will be n plus n by 2. So please keep remembering this number of register values, and you'll be using it while solving the problems. So we have a problem statement which is calculate the percentage saving in finding a 512 point radix to FFT when compared to direct DFT. So you need to take capital N is equal to 512, and you have to do initially with direct computation, and then you have to compare with FFT computation, and later you will be calculating the percentage saving. Okay, so for the direct computation, the number of complex multiplication already we have seen it is n square. So for 512 square it becomes 2,62,144 number of complex multiplications, and whereas the additions is the formula is n square minus n. So just substitute n is equal to 512. You'll be getting the complex additions as 2,61,632. And for the FFT computation, the formula is for complex multiplication it is n by 2 log n base 2. So put n is equal to 512 and simplify, the value is 2304 number of complex multiplications. And for the complex addition it is n log n base 2. So the value for the given problem is 4608. So the next thing is you need to calculate the percentage saving, how much the percentage is saved if we are going with the FFT computation. So for that the formula, as I told, it is n square divided by n by 2 log n. So just substitute the values whatever we have calculated now. So the percentage saving for multiplication it is 113.7 percentage, and for the addition the formula is n square minus n divided by n log n base 2. So the values are the percentage is 56.7 percentage. So you can observe the number of calculations got reduced for multiplication and additions. Okay. So let us have one more problem. So you can calculate the, if it is asked to calculate what is the number of real part, you can use the formula what I told you, n value, and for the imaginary part again it is n. So if the problem statement whatever n is given, you can just substitute directly, and total number of real register as I told it is 3 into n, and for the complex register required is n plus n by 2. So at last we have another problem. Determine the following for a 128 point FFT computation: the number of stages, the butterflies in each stage, butterflies needed for the entire computation, and total number of complex multiplications, complex additions, as well as the speed improvement factor. So here whatever the data given is n is equal to 128. So the first thing is you have to calculate the number of stages. So what is the formula is, the number of stages is log n base 2. So substitute n is equal to 128. So log 128 base 2 it is 7. And how many number of butterflies in each stage? It is n by 2, and 128 by 2 you are getting us 64. And total number of butterflies needed is n by 2 multiplied with the number of stages. Okay, so put n by 2 multiplied with log n base 2, which is 64 into 7, it is 448. And the number of complex multiplication is n by 2 log n base 2. Substitute n is equal to 128, and you are getting us 448. And for the complex addition, the formula is n log n. So 128 log 128 base 2, which is 896. So the next thing is you need to calculate the speed improvement factor. So for the speed improvement factor, the formula as we have discussed in the last problems, it is n by 2. N square divided by n by 2 log n. Substitute n is equal to 128, and the speed improvement is seem to be 36.57. Okay, so this is how we are solving the calculation part. In the same way you can do it for the other problems too. Please remember all these formulas. Okay, and definitely they will ask you for at least 4 marks in the university exam. Okay, so thanks for watching. Let us continue in the next video. Thank you.